Hey drummers, Garey Williams is back with another reaction and analysis video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the great Daniel Glass. This guy is a fantastic drummer, and I think you're going to really enjoy what we see. This is taken from his DVD, The Century Project. That might sound familiar. Trumpet player. Bass drum, pedal tech, heel toe. Doubles. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm going to pause it right there for just a minute. Great overhead shot. You can see the nice technique. This guy studied with Freddie Gruber, who was the teacher for Steve Smith, Neil Peart, Dave Weckl. That's my understanding. Clearly awesome hands. Really harking back to the old traditional Gene Krupa, big era size drums. This is a mahogany, basically mahogany shell kit that DW manufactured. The early Ludwig and Ludwig Leedy drums were mostly mahogany shells with poplar reinforcing hoops and round, they call them baseball bat edges. So you got more head to wood contact. So it's a darker, smokier, cloudier sound, really nice and rich and thick, but definitely more on the darker side compared to a maple drum, which would be more of a sharp attack and a long sustain. But in the Aquarian heads, he's got these older you can look at the heads on the toms, have a yellowish tint to them versus the one on the snare, which looks more like a standard frosted head, but the Aquarian series. So these are these old kind of like vintage type of heads I think Aquarian makes. But great playing there where he was keeping steady time, and then at the same time he was doing that, he was able to float his hands over the top and mix things up. He was doing a lot of call and response, and then pretty much playing in these 8-bar phrases, 1, 2, up tempo, playing like that. So we'll carry on, and here finish with that cool rims combination. Mostly singles, very musical thematic ideas, some doubles. Definitely lots of cool ideas. More out of time stuff. Except hi-hat. Perfect time on the feet. Save this. love the crossover, but it was very musical. A lot of repetition. Slam accents. Singles. Beautiful, beautiful control. Now it's right. Well, I guess it's, yeah, it is right hand. Tips up a little. Stick shots. Yes. All those percussion-y sounds. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. Okay, now this is very traditional style of drumming. If you watch some of the old clips, you can see some of the great famous big band drummers. And they were playing, or actually small group drummers too, early New Orleans drummers especially, where they kept time. Dutzes, 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 dutzes. I have an old video clip of the famous jazz band drummers, and there's Dizzy Gillespie, and behind him the drummers playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, whole time. Kind of like he was doing a minute ago, where the sticks were on either side of the snare drum, approximately like 10 and 2 o'clock, and he's doing unison buzz strokes toward the edges. Kind of like if you ever jumped on a trampoline and with two people and you've canceled out the bounce. Well, when you play near the edge of the drum, you can put both sticks down and the feel isn't quite as weird, and the rebound doesn't get quite as canceled out, and it actually has more ring and more rebound, so the buzz strokes sound a little bit smoother and buzzier. So he's getting into his whole thing is learning how to play through the different eras. So on the Century Project, it's a fantastic DVD where he goes through all these different eras with costumes, and his playing style and his kit changes because he really got into different setups. So let's check this part out some more. Look at that pedal technique. Sounds like 6-stroke rolls. Right. Alto. Probably back into the theme. 1, 2, here we go. Yes! Love the music stands with the floor toms, the fronts. Sir. Yes! Awesome! That was killing. Man, Daniel Glass. Wow. Really, truly a great drummer. And again, the Century Project, what you saw right at the very end of that, highly recommend you get that. The 100 Years of American Music from Behind the Drums, 1865 to 1965. Because he goes through the evolution of the drum set, which was the invention of the bass drum pedal, and talks about early double drumming prior to the bass drum pedal's incorporation, after that, and how the drum set evolved. He personally has an interest in collecting drum kits, and I think he has quite a few vintage drum sets, and he used many of them in this DVD, which is done with the band called Royal Crown Review. Now, at the beginning of this, you heard that kind of thematic thing that the horn players were playing. That's taken from the movie The Mask by Jim Carrey. That's when I first discovered this group, was from that movie, where they, in the bar scene, he said, let's rock this joint. And then he starts playing that kind of sing, sing, sing Krupa type solo. So some really good traditional kind of old school, some more modern influences. I love the steady timekeeping on the bass drum and the hi-hat, and the hands could literally kind of float off into a different sort of feel or sense of speed and time. This ability to have that kind of interdependence between the lower body and the upper body, so he's able to play. And again, I think he was a student of Freddie Gruber, so his hand facility is quite remarkable. And great ideas, even with the fast crossover stuff. As blurry as he got that, you could still hear the same melodic shape to the pattern. So rather than just doing something frantic, he actually had a melodic idea that he was able to develop And repetition is key to really musical solos. Just like in any great song, you hear the chorus and the hook line. It's repeated enough times to where you can catch it, sing it, connect to it. And basically, like a conversation, you want to discuss a subject and expand on it. So the call and response ideas were beautifully executed, I thought. Great drum sound, great view of seeing what's going on. And you could really hear a good sense of dynamics, the peaks and valleys concept, where he brought the solo way down. And then he brought it back up again, which I just thought was cool. And this idea of segueing from an ensemble piece into the drum solo and then developing the drum solo in a way where you can bring the band back in. So you're really going from music to solo back to music. And this is very common in these epic kind of ostinato solos, where they're cadenzas, really is what they are, not an ostinato in the sense that you have your feet doing something steady. He did have that going a lot of the time. Hi-hat was steadily going as an ostinato, even though his hands seemed to stay in regular time most of the time, but then speed up and slow down at other times. So just great drumming. The great Daniel Glass. Highly recommend you check out his DVD. And I do have a book called Drummer's Guide to Big Band that's published by Wisdom Media. It's available on hudsonmusic.com digitally, and Daniel Glass was very kind to write me a very, very positive review on the book called Drummer's Guide to Big Band. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and if you're interested in lessons, I also have classes and other things available, so it's all in the text box below, so check that out and get a hold of me if you're interested in having me help you improve your drumming and show you what a lot of these great drummers are doing, because I'd be happy to do that. Until then, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next reaction and analysis video. Take care. Bye-bye.